Welcome back to The Express at Festival du Bois at Mackin Park in Coquitlam. Maple taffy, maple sugar pie, tourtière, and poutine. You can find all those delicacies here at this festival. But if you're looking for the best poutine outside of Montreal, apparently right here in Maillardville you can find it at the French Quarter Pub.
It's Canada's guilty pleasure. Originating in Quebec, poutine can be found across the country. We went to Coquitlam, where French Quarter Pub claimed to have the best poutine in town.
The poutine we have here is popular. It's one of the few French items we have on the menu. People seem to like it. We get rave reviews about it, so we must be doing something right.
We went into the kitchen to see what goes into this dish to make it the best in town.
By themselves, fries, gravy, and cheese, they're perfectly fine by themselves, but then when you put them together, I mean, it's a great combination, so who wouldn't want poutine?
On average, the kitchen will make at least 5 plates of poutine just in the lunch rush alone. And the secret is simple. Everything is made from scratch. Keith says the Maillardville neighborhood has changed, but they are committed to sticking to their French roots.
It's something you can't get everywhere. Not many places offer it. When people do come in here and they see it on the menu, they're generally quite excited.
It keeps loyal customers like Lauren coming back.
How often do you order poutine?
Once a week, twice a week.
The French Quarter Pub is at the entrance of Maillardville and hopes to keep the French spirit in the city alive, one fry at a time.
It's been here since the early 30s. It's just good neighborhood pub.
And great poutine.
In Coquitlam, I'm Melanie Panetta for The Express.
There are different variations of poutine around the world. In Greece, they use feta and warm vinaigrette. In Mexico, it's carne asada along with sour cream and guacamole. Delicious. You're watching our Express special on Maillardville's Festival du Bois. And up next, we're heading to the Mackin House Museum for a slice of life from the early 1900s, when Maillardville was first established.
Mackin House is the headquarters of the Coquitlam Heritage Society and a key feature at Coquitlam's Heritage Square.
So welcome to Mackin House Museum.
Mackin House is an original piece of architecture in Coquitlam, built in 1909, was the first home for the sales manager of Fraser Mills. Henry James Mackin was an Irish immigrant that came to manage Fraser Mills via New York. So he was actually an American. Middle-class family, but the Mackins lived in the house here.
They had a wonderful fireplace to keep nice and warm and to give light to the room.
While it's called a museum, the staff don't treat it preciously.
We use the house as a heritage home, an interpretive heritage home to reflect life 100 years ago. So when you come in, you can sit on the furniture. We can bake in the kitchen, we can serve tea, we can do many, many things with it that we couldn't do if we were strictly a museum.
And it's for this reason that the kids find it particularly fun.
Kids love the museum. First of all, they love to see how life was 100 years ago. Believe it or not, they like to see toys that aren't automated, and they like to see the fact that, that children had a very simpler life. They worked a lot harder, did a lot more chores, were much more hands-on in family life.
What did you learn, Brooke?
That life was really different back then.
How was it different?
Like no electricity and everything was like wind up. Life was hard for kids back then.
Now they're really, really hot. And the kids get to help out. These kids are getting a taste of baking corn muffins.
I think it just reinforces the whole learning experience. This baking is really simple. Life was a little bit different back then.
I'm Erin Shaw in Coquitlam for The Express.
Mackin House is always open for tours, and often the smell of baking is in the air. They also hold book readings there and wine tastings. It's one well-used turn-of-the-century house. You're watching The Express, and we have more Francophone fun coming up. After the break, the Voyageurs.
Voyageurs, the first true entrepreneurs that brought Eastern Canada to the West Coast.
Les Jammers. The Express. This is your local voice.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by The Lounge Hair Studio. loungehairstudio.com.
Coast is clear. Okay. Shh. It's his turn. I know. Come on. Come bring it. Don't be a chicken. Go. Perfect. Come on. Don't be a chicken. Bring it. Do it, man. Do it. Bring it. Go. Go. Fuck this thing, yeah. Bring it.
Welcome back to the Express at Mayardville's 22nd annual Festival du Bois. This is a celebration of community, of culture, of francophone music, and history.
D'avoir tué mon canard blanc en roulant ma boule. D'avoir tué mon canard blanc en roulant ma boule. Par-dessus le lit perd son sang. Roulant, roulant, la boule roulant. En roulant ma boule roulant. En roulant ma boule.
I am Voyageur today. From the very beginnings of the West Coast Voyageurs, the first true entrepreneurs that brought Eastern Canada to the West Coast.
Love it. Well, I just love that I get to be super dressed up and that you guys are going to do all the work. So you're actually going to sing and paddle at the same time?
And chew gum, too. It gets a little crazy sometimes. It does, yep.
But you guys really are bringing history alive, and you're super committed to the tradition.
Yes, it's fun, and we have a great time together, costumed and sing, and tell people that, French was good in Canada. It was a part of our history, and we have to get it out.
The Voyageurs. You never know what you'll find here at Festival du Bois. They're interested in French-Canadian costumes, ballads, history, and art. But right now on the Express, we're going to fast forward from the 1700s to present day to take you to a place where Vancouver Francophones connect.
Welcome to Le Centre, a French hub in the heart of Vancouver.
If you're interested in anything that's related to French, or you speak French yourself, or you don't speak French and you want to learn or get involved or get some more information about what exists in French in Vancouver, people come to Le Centre.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Je viens d'arriver à Vancouver il y a quelques jours.
When people come here, they can find a lot, like they can rent movies. We have like 2,000 titles. They can rent books. We have probably the largest book collection in French in Vancouver. We have the internet website free of charge for people who need that when they first arrive in Vancouver sometimes. And the front desk is always a very good resource for all the questions you have.
There's also a children's section where they host regular storytelling hours, and families can rent children's books or movies to watch at home. In addition, Le Centre hosts ever-changing exhibits of Francophone artists.
Le Centre has been in existence for more than 35 years, and I think everyone knows by now that in Vancouver, which is the third largest city in Canada, there is a large French-speaking community. About 150,000 people speak French fluently in Vancouver.
Which means lots of interest in events like Festival du Bois.
If you really want to get to the traditional French-Canadian stuff, like the maple syrup and poutine and the traditional music, go to Festival du Bois. That's the best event of the year in terms of getting in touch with traditional French-Canadian culture in Vancouver.
I'm Kendall Harris for The Express.
For more information on the programs, events, and classes, you can go to the Centre's website. We're also shining today's spotlight on French-Canadian culture. Catherine Tableau's paintings are an invitation to meditation, to stationary traveling, a humble attempt to directly attain silence. Enjoy a dinner and a movie special at the Alliance Francaise. Share a delicious dinner of mussels French fries, followed by the screening of Welcome to the Sticks by Danny Boone. Lorianne's an enthusiastic photographer. Her camera became her trusty companion on her travels, bearing witness and images to many encounters in distant places. And that's it for today's Express special from the 22nd Annual Festival du Bois at Mackin Park in Maillardville in Coquitlam. I'm Johanna Ward, and on behalf of all of us on the show, thanks so much for watching. We're going to leave you with more music from the festival, the Quebecois Hillbilly Cajun band Les Jammers, and we'll see you next time. Au revoir!